sell it to us, and we don't know any better. So again, as our liver does better and better, it detoxifies these things. And the liver has oxidative processes in it, and it breaks down these chemicals into what they call intermediaries, meaning it's breaking apart chemicals, and sometimes it breaks them down into more dangerous chemicals on its way to breaking it down to things that it can package, shore up and make inert to get it into our gut and get it out of us. And so we have no idea a lot of these chemicals. What does glyphosate do in the body, in the liver? How is it broken down? They don't know. They don't know what it breaks down into and how bad those chemicals are. If we knew how bad it was, we might say, you know what? That's just a stupid thing to put in our environment in any day. And we would take glyphosate off the market. But again, who knows? Nobody's done the research on these things. So all we can do is to really eat things like beets and beet greens. Eat things like cruciferous vegetables that keep the liver clean. Keep as much chemicals out of our home environment in cleaning supplies and clothing dyes, or more natural fibers, more natural paint, more natural flooring. All of it can be done. What do we go for the new car because of the new car smell, or we say, I think I'll take that 20-year-old car and totally rebuild the engine and electrical system so it's like brand new and just use that? I'm serious. I have these thoughts in my head. I'm like, why do I want a brand spanking new car? Why do I want all the brand spanking new chemicals that they're putting in everything to be around me all the time? I'm going to say no. You know what? I don't want a brand new television. You know what? In fact, go ahead and give me the old one. And so you can get really kind of crazy with this stuff, or you can just say, what do I think is best for me? I'm not worried about anything. I'm not going to, go over the deep end. But these are all concepts that, hey, we probably ought to run them through our head really quick and decide what's best for each of us. And it doesn't matter what best for you is, maybe not what's best for me. What's best for me may not be what's best for you. But as long as you know it's there, say, hey, I'm going to make some choices here that are conscious. I'm not going to just allow anything willy-nilly into my environment. I'm going to start making maybe some better choices. So those are the possibilities ahead of you, and I think it's a doable situation. I really don't think it should be overwhelming, and if it is at this point, my apologies. That wasn't where I wanted to go with this. So there's a lot of massive information that maybe I downloaded in your head right now for the last 15, 20 minutes. But just know that we're going to do one thing at a time. Hey, what's one way that I can unload some chemicals from my environment today? What's one food that I might be able to go organic now? Okay, well, let's get there. Hey, what's one way that I could maybe unpollute my own mind and maybe start thinking more positively, which then sends a beautiful, wonderful, loving feeling down to my body, my cells, which then detoxify even better. And they're not as sick. I mean, all of it works to our benefit. And I think it's just challenging us at a higher level. And maybe that's the purpose of all these chemicals, to say, hey, we're just trying to make sure that you really want this or don't want this. And that you're really willing to do the work and to live at a higher, more wonderful spiritual level of well-being. I think it's all together. So again, that's kind of my ending take on the amounts of chemicals that are in our environment. I'm not worried about it. I'm not concerned about it, but I'm going to limit everywhere that I can. And I'm still going to protect my body because I love feeling great. I love being able to do whatever I want to do, as long as I want to do, whenever I want to do it. And so as long as that continues to happen, awesome. If things go downhill and I realize there's way too many chemicals in our environment, I'll do more things. But the more people that listen to this in this podcast and start realizing, you know what? Maybe I do want to start standing up to these chemical companies. Maybe I do want to start doing things differently. And I'm going to take my hard-earned cash and I'm going to go spend them in a different spot. And I'm going to start saying no to all the chemicals. I'm going to start saying no to the mainstream food, the mainstream products that are highly processed. I'm going to start going natural. I'm going to go to farmers markets. I'm going to put money back into my local area and spend some extra dough doing it instead of the cheap stuff that I can get at the grocery store that may come from who knows what country. But I'm going to start giving it back to my local stuff and start supporting there and doing things in a better way that I think is better for us all the way around. So if that resonates, awesome. Questions, concerns, maybe you get really amped up about this and you're upset at what I said or something I said, hey, shoot me a line. Love to hear from you. Until next time, I'm Dr. Troy Munson on Revealing Wholeness.
Thanks for listening. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach Dr. Munson at 893-8586 or email him at chiroman@dr.com. That's chiroman@dr.com. Check out our current workshop schedule on Facebook at Infinity Whole Health.
The information on this podcast from Dr. Troy Munson is meant to educate the listener on a variety of health issues. It is not meant to diagnose or treat any conditions.